Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to part 7 of the Mr. Vintage radio control aeroplane build. If you've been following the series up to yet, you'll know that I've been concentrating on the wing panels over the last couple of videos. I've now constructed both the left hand and the right hand panel, and I've actually joined the two halves together. So I'll turn the camera around now and you'll be able to see exactly where I'm up to at the moment. As you can see, the completed wing is now onto the magnetic building board that I'm using, and I've actually been concentrating on the centre section of the wing and joining the two halves together. When I join the two halves together, you've got a dihedral brace here either side of the main spars. It's only a 32nd ply thickness, so it's not very strong. But when I glued this into position for the dihedral of the wing, when it had all dried, I noticed that I'd actually got a bit of a twist in the wing, and that is when I put the wing panel back flat onto the building board, this right hand side lay perfectly flat to the board, whilst the other side at the trailing edge of the wing in this corner, it was about 5mm off. So this side was actually cocked up 5mm to the other side. So obviously I've got to straighten that out. I did this by working out what the actual dihedral drop was, and I did this by calculating this triangle from here up to the end and back. So I worked out that triangle with some simple trigonometry, and I worked out that the actual gap on the ends should be about 31mm there and there. So I cut 4 blocks first of all, 31mm, and I placed them under each wingtip at both sides. So that is now holding the wing, you know, perfectly at the right angle and equal on both sides, which still meant I'd still got a problem in this area here where it was raised off the board. So what I did, I just simply put my drill case, which is the sort of heaviest item that I'd got, onto that area just to weigh it down while I constructed all the middle pieces here just to hold it flat. I've also bit of belt and braces, put a few sort of extra supporting pieces here, diagonally going this way, and on the rear side going the opposite way. If I can show you that, you see it's going the opposite way, so it equals the forces out. This central section here is not on the drawing at all. If I show you the drawing, you can see the central section here. There's nothing shown there, so I've put a few cross pieces in there just to give it a little more strength. Also, on the trailing edge, the wing bolts will be drilled through here to secure it to the fuselage. Well, obviously there was nothing there, just fresh air. So what I've done, I've cut out some hardwood myself, hardwood blocks there, and shaped it to fit. And the bolts will go through there. That's going to be nice and solid, and that's going to be firm for when we're bolting down. The other bit of a setup, what I did was use my spirit level, which is the longest straight edge that I've got. I put that at the back of the wing and then blocked it out with my magnetic blocks here, just to keep the two halves running nice and straight, nice and true. So that's the wing almost completed. As you can see now, I've released all the weight off the top. It's all sitting down nicely, so it's all good. And obviously with the blocks at the end supporting, that's kept the angle good as well. All that remains to be done on the wing is to put on the wingtips, which I've glued this big block onto the wingtip, and I've roughly cut round the curve that I want to sand it to. If I can just put that on the end, I'll show you how that goes. That basically fits on the end like so. Obviously it's got to be rounded off that way, it's got to be rounded off that way as well, and actually it's rounded off underneath to suit the curve of the bottom rib there. So that's what we've got to do. Obviously I've got to do the same the other side. I'm just in the process of gluing that at the moment. It's been set for about an hour, so it should be somewhere near. I've glued the big block on. Obviously I'm going to mark it out now by putting that onto the end, drawing round the end form, and then we'll bandsaw that out just to get some of the weight of the block out of it before we start sanding. So that's where we are up to now. It's looking pretty good. All I've got to do is obviously attach some wingtips, and then we'll be looking at hinging the ailerons on the back, and then it'll be down to putting the wing onto the fuselage and spotting these holes through into the blocks and the supporting structure underneath. Once that's done, I think all we've got to do then is the sheeting on the top and bottom. That will go across there, and obviously it will be glued round on the radius there. So that's part 7's video. I hope you've enjoyed it up to yet. If you've got any comments or questions, please drop it in the box below, and we can all have a chat about it, perhaps learn a bit between ourselves. If you want to like and subscribe to the channel, obviously you will receive the further updates on how I'm progressing with the model. Okay, thanks for listening, folks. Bye.